Hello everybody, it's the Super Yuki once again giving you guys another tutorial for Learn Yanfly's plugins, and today we'll be talking about Message Core. The goal of this plugin is to make your messages more lively and to give you guys a little more style. That is plugin number 2 of Yanfly's plugin library, and I gave it a difficulty rating of 1.5 out of 5. It is easy to use, it's just that it's a little bit more interesting to use. That's why I gave it a 1.5. So let's take a look at the default message system without doing any plugin management, any parameters. And you saw this during the first episode when we were talking about the core engine. So let's take a look. So as you can see, this is the default message system. It's not that bad, but we want to make it more personalized for our game in question. So we use this plugin to do so. Make sure you install the plugin. The link will be in the description below. And let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be talking about the text codes as well as the name window. And we're going to go over something called plugin commands. And I have something else for you. I have a resource. It's color coding, color codes, and we're gonna show you that in just a moment here. The parameters can left default because most of the things we're gonna be doing today will be affecting the parameters anyway. That's why I'm not going to go over the parameters that much. The only one I want to talk about is this, the font. Now there is another plugin that allows you to do custom fonts, but I think that's a paid plugin, if I remember correctly. So keep that in mind. So when we go into that plugin, I'm going to be referring back to this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at our text codes. This guy speaks default. The guy we're about to make speaks message core. We're going to make a new image here. We're going to go actor number 2, number 1, and we're going to have him say something, but we're not going to do the usual stuff here. So every actor, I should say, has a ID. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to have this guy greet Harold. So welcome to the village, but instead of writing the name Harold out like the name itself, we're going to be using something called a text code. What we do is use this slash. This slash here is, I believe, called the /, and it is located above the shift key, to the left of the return key, and to the right of the quotation marks. We're also going to put the capital N. We're going to put the both brackets, and inside of the bracket we're going to enter the nth number, the nth actor, and the nth actor is going to be number 1. To make sure we did this correctly, we are going to press the preview button, and as you can see, welcome to the village Harold, that 1 is replaced by the name Harold. Not too bad. We're going to do something else. We are going to do the same thing with our second actor. I think Therese is our second actor, and the way to remember these names, by default, it's HTML. It's going to be Harold, Therese, Marsha, and Lucius. That's the 4 names, and because of HTML, because you can do with JavaScript with this program. Also, welcome to... We're going to do the same thing, except for one other thing. We're now going to do something called a color code. We're going to go /, and this time we're going to put the letter C. we're gonna put 2 brackets, and inside of the bracket, we are going to use a number from 0 to 32. Now, I'm going to show you a color code chart in just a bit here. In terms of like, I'm gonna also link you to the website where you can find that. By the way, the website I'm going to link you for this color code is actually my very old game development site. Let's try number 2. Then we're also gonna put the same color code, the same text code for our friend Therese, but instead of number 1, we're gonna put number 2. Then we're going to put /C again. What this does? What this does is colors the name of our second actor. Let's have a look. And as you can see, Therese is an orange because that is the color code for orange. Also, because we put number 2 instead of number 1, Therese is our second actor. But what happens if we change it? Let's actually first, before we go into other text codes, let's test our game out just to make sure that everything is correct. Because sometimes we might have an error. So let's take a look. Our guy is here. So Harold is first because he's the first actor, and Therese is second because she's the second actor. And in addition, we have the orange color. Now, let's flip. Let's actually change the position of the actors here, and I'm going to choose at random. Marshall, you're it. Marshall, you're it, and Harold, you're second. Now, what happens here, guys? Here, as you can see, while it is the same thing here, we're going to be doing something else here. Okay? I'm going to show you what we're going to do. By default, that is on the database. What I'm going to show you now is something different. Let's go back to our message here. Now, the reason why it didn't change is because we're using the letter N instead of the letter P. The letter N is only for those who use the database. So the database has our actors. If we use this, we always have Harold number 1, Therese number 2, Marshall number 3, and Lucius number 4. Now, while that's not a bad idea, the problem is what happens if the player decides to flip-flop Harold and Lucius in terms of party order? Well, we have a problem. As you saw there, the names didn't change. What I'm going to show you now is how it changes. So, we're going back to our same message here, but we're going to go to the edit, and we're going to change the P, the N to a P. The capital N to a P instead of an N. So now what this does, it does the exact same thing, but this time instead of the ID of the character, we have the position of the character in terms of the party order. So if we do this now, you're always going to get Harold and Therese in terms of the preview window, because they are currently the first ones in the party. Now, when we test this at first, it's always going to be Harold and Therese, because by default they are the ones that are in the party order. And you can also see that because they're following you in that order. And as you can see, Harold and Therese are still the names. But if we change Lucius and then Harold in second, Mark in third. Let's have a look at what happens when we do this. Keep forgetting that the back key is something else. As you can see now, Lucius has replaced Harold because he's in second. Harold goes down to second because we put him at second, and that's where it makes sense. So now it doesn't look like like a big change, but trust me when you play. Some developers will have certain characters greet the first party member. It has happened in role-playing games, and that's usually how it is. The reason now, it's not a bad idea to use the N, but if the player wants to change characters in terms of battle and stuff, in terms of order will matter in message core. Now let's do something else. Let's try something else. Let's say we want to inform the player of like items or gold or something like that. But instead of using the word 400 gold, we can replace that with an icon. Thanks to this plugin, you can. We're going to have the same guy do something else. But before we do so, let's go access our database and go to the items tab. As you can see, now any tab from skills to items to weapons, armors, and weapons and armors has something called icon. We're going to double click the icon, that area here, and we're going to see a lot of icons. Now some of them are empty, however, so keep that in mind. Now I'm not going to talk about it today, but there is a software Yanfly has created for us all that allows us to make icons for RPG Maker MV, BX Ace. If you guys want, I can do a tutorial for you guys on that, but not today. What I have for you guys is we're going to find the gold icon, and the gold icon by default is number 313. 313, okay? 313. I'm going to cancel that, and we're going to go back to our message here. We're also going to introduce something else. We're going to double click here. We're going to show text, and we're going to say, I believe the number goes first before the icon, so we're going to say our shop has a discount today of let's say 300 gold, but instead of using the word gold, 300 will go first, followed by the text code /I, letter I, capital I, bracket 313 end bracket. When we previewed that, our shop has a discount today of 300 gold. This gold icon was because of our text code, as you can see. So not too bad, huh? Now we can also do other codes as well, if you like. We can also do like we can open the gold window. To do so, you put / and you put, I believe, the $sign. Let's have a look at that in action. Now it's not going to be on preview, but you have to do you actually have to go in game. So we're going to test this out. Now remember, the gold window is going to open the next time we go in there. Let's have a look. So as you can see, the gold window has popped up, on the top right. Now, it doesn't look like much, but why is this useful? The reason why this is useful is for those of you who want to get informed of how much gold you have or currency you have before you make a purchase in a shop that does not have an actual item shop. So like inns, for example. Inns are the only time I've seen a gold window pop up where it's not considered an item shop. It's a service. So that would be a great idea to use the gold window. So let's actually do that. Let's actually make an inn and use our knowledge to our advantage here. So what I'm going to do before we go there, we're going to enter a treasure chest. Right click on any square, go to quick event or creation, go to treasure. We're going to put gold, and we're going to put 1000 gold just to make sure it's fun, because everything is fun in this game. Anyway, we're going to have this guy say welcome to the village and welcome to whoever is in second. And instead of shop, we're gonna have today's inn price is 100 gold, using our text code, of course. Oops. There we go. Would you like to stay? Now, because I'm not going to go into conditional branches today, I am not going to go into conditional branches, but I would do so. And as you can see, $$ you can also put it like this. Today's in price is 100 gold. Would you like to stay? Now in this case you do say yes automatically. And then I'm gonna show you something. Right click. Now I'm not going to actually go into the programming of this. I just want to show you how it looks like. We'll go into programming in my Learn RPG Maker MV series. But today we're just learning the plugin itself. So we're gonna grab our gold here. And as you can see, our gold is there. 1000 gold has been added to our account, and the price of the inn is 100 gold if you would like to stay. Then the gold window closes after that. Okay, now let's have some fun. Let's now do something a little bit more dramatic, if you will. If you followed me ever since I started fanfiction, I always have my character faint or something. It's been a tradition of mine, and then I don't know why I started that. However, we can play with that tradition, and we're going to do it in dramatic fashion, if you will. We are going to have a character, and oops, no, I don't want that. New. Two characters. This girl and this unconscious boy. And you can see I have a damage 1, 2, and 3 here. This applies the damage character. Number... This one looks good to me. Press OK. We're gonna have her, let's see if I can have her turn to the right. Yeah. We're gonna apply this for now, and that's how it looks like on the thing, and I'm gonna show you why it's gonna be dramatic in just a moment. And we're gonna use our text codes to our advantage. So as you can see, that's how it's gonna look like on the top right now. They're not gonna say anything because I haven't put anything in there. But let's start putting stuff in there, and you can do whatever you want here. But we're going to introduce 2 new text codes. A few of them. We're also going to add a name window. Ooh, fancy, huh? We're going to add a name window. Double click here, and we're going to have a conditional, show text. We're going to have the same forward slash. We're going to have the name N, lowercase n, be careful. We're going to have the less than and greater than sign. And inside of that, we are going to put a name of a character. And for this example, we are using the name Luna because that's what I've been doing ever since I started fanfiction. Luna. Of course, if you use the word moon and Luna are the same because of Spanish and stuff. Luna is the Spanish word for moon, but Luna is also a name. Moon, of course, is a name of Pokemon. So let's have Luna say something. Let's make this a little bit more dramatic, shall we? I use my real name from my fanfiction stories for some reason, and I'm gonna do that for today's example. But we are not stopping here, folks. And here's why. We are going to use a text code after that long exclamation mark. / we are going to use the dots. 1 dot. And what this does is waits 1/4 of a second before the next text can appear. 1/4 of a second. But we're going to do it twice. Now, anything after the exclamation mark is before anything after the dots. That last dot will appear 1/4 second later than our big fat exclamation point period here. And I'm gonna say, please don't die yet. Another thing in my fanfiction. Oh yeah, I remember my fanfiction days. What's this going to do? Is going to wait. Let's now preview. They're not going to get anything. Because you don't see the name window, you can only see it in play. So let's see it in play, shall we? Ooh, this could be fun. Now I think I messed up on the exclamation marks not being together, however, that is actually beside the point right now. Because we're about to see what happens when we put a text code. So as you can see, you see that? You see the pause? First of all, feature number 1, name window. Very good name window. Feature number 2, if you saw what happened right here, where my cursor is, there's a little small pause. That small pause was because of our text code, the / dot. But that's only 1/4 of a second. Let's flip it. Go back to our text code here. We are now going to have our Luna friend here use the exact same speech, exact same words, using a different text code. / and we're going to be using the vertical bar. The vertical bar, I believe, is going to be let's see here. Yeah, my keyboard is. Here we go. /shift, /button, shift /. That's going to make it so that Luna must wait 2 seconds before saying this portion. This portion is automatic. Kobe. This portion is not. You have to wait 2 seconds before doing this part of the speech here. And you can put whatever you want after that. Okay? So now let's see it in action. Oh, by the way, for that name window, you can also use text code. If you like. You can put emoji, symbol, whatever. Not really. But it's gonna be fun. So, if we do this now, as you can see, there's a pause, 1, 2, there you go. Please note there is a bit of a space, however, when we do this, and that's okay. That is fine. That is really good. So you have to wait 2 seconds, 2 full seconds, and remember, in our RPG Maker MV, 60 frames per second, that means 120 frames, my friends. Count your frames. Don't forget to count them frames, people. I love my frames. Maybe. Anyway, that's it for the cool text codes. Now, you can also do something else. Normally, before a text advances, you must press a button. The space button to be exact. But let's do a little bit more interesting stuff. Let's add to her speech actually. But before we add to the speech, let's instead not advance it yet. We're going to wait for player input. We're going to put / and we're going to put the exclamation mark. Now keep in mind, this exclamation mark is not this one. This is tied to the text code. This is tied to this. So keep in mind that this is for here. This is for here. So when we wait for player input, once the player presses that confirm button, then we can advance the text to have Luna say, I love you so much. And in fact, fanfiction rules. Anyway, let's see that in action. I know it's a little bit of a long tutorial, but I want to give you guys some depth into the tutorial to give you an idea of how to use this plugin. Because this is a useful plugin, my friends. So as you can see, the 2 seconds, but it's not over yet. Where's the second part? See that? So what that did is you have to wait at this point before, oops, let's do that again. So watch my cursor. So here, there's nothing yet. I mean, there's something, but it is from line 1. When we do player input, as you can see, the second part of that speech goes up on the board here. Pretty cool, huh? Now, why is this useful? Well, first of all, this is useful before boss battles, and here's why. Players always love to run. And when I say run, I say speed run. And they're rushing all the way to the end. And then they're like, yeah, I gotta get ready. This is not advancing yet. I gotta get ready for this boss battle. So I have to press something. So that's why it's useful. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you is fast forward. Now, that is where it's going to get fun. A lot of fun. Let's add to our speeds again. But this time, whoops. Edit. Before Luna starts her speech, we're going to enable fast forwarding. We do this using forward slash. We do actually, excuse me. This is a good time. Excuse me. This is a good time to explain plugin commands as well. So let's take a look at plugin commands we can use. And we're going to go to tab number 3. We're going to go to advanced and plugin command. The correct plugin command is called enable fast forward. All in one word, and the EFF have to be capitalized. So what this does is, if you hold down, I believe page down on your keyboard, it's going to fast forward through the text. Remember that 2-second wait that we had to do? Let me show you something. Let me play it again by default, as if nothing happened. Let me play it for you again without touching anything. So you have to wait for that 2, then you have to do player input, and then that's it. Message over, message cut. But let's pull down, page down. Ah, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? I hold down, page down at the beginning. When you that does that, that's it. The text goes fast. Now, what is this useful for? In Pokemon, in the beginning of the game, you're holding A to fast forward. This is that, except it's a little bit more faster in here. Okay? You can hold A to fast forward in Pokemon. And that's useful. Now, what I mentioned to you is plugin command. That's what these are. Okay? That's why I showed you. You can also do something else. Not that. Go back to our event here. We're going to do something called message with. We're going to go back to here and we're going to put message with, I'm gonna say 400. Press apply. We're okay. Now let's take a look at what happens. Now remember, we shrunk it. We shrunk it to size. Let's see if I did it right. As you can see, yeah, here's the problem though. We have a problem. As you can see, the message window is too short. Or is it? Or is it too short? Double click here again and we're going to add another plugin command called enable word wrap. This allows new words to be put at different lines. I'm having too much fun with this plugin for you guys. I think you guys are gonna like this plugin to play with. So, let's have a look. You you see how enabling word wrap changes the location of the text? As you can see, this part would have been here. This whole part is out of play, out of the window, out of bounds. Not anymore. Now we're word wrapping, people. And then the rest of the text going on. Now, you can actually move the text box. Okay? Don't forget about that. And you can do so using the parameters. Now I said that the parameters will change, but it's okay. Move it to top right, top left. You can even put it to where the character is saying something. So Luna is on the left. So this whole thing, including her name box, can be moved to this side of the screen here, so you know that Luna is talking. It makes sense in this case. Okay? Now, before we end this tutorial, I do want to give you guys the color codes. So, I had a website for my game development a long time ago when I started, and I would like to show that to you now. This is Franslet'sKindnessadventure.com. Now, you might be wondering, where did this come from? Because when I first started game development in RPG Maker MV VX8, I had a character in mind named Franslet. Believe it or not, that was going to be my character name in terms of the game. But I changed my mind. But I am having a character by the exact same name appear in the game I'm developing right now. But here's the thing, I have a color code database. So if you see this is the same thing as what we just talked about in our color code segment. The thing I'm gonna show you is this little table right here. So, by default, all text is number 0, white. Then we have blue, orange, green, this color, this color, this color, this color, and all that good stuff. I am going to put this on my community site later on. So if you want to have a look at it, I'm going to put like a resource page. It's not up yet, okay? But I'm going to have a resource page for you guys to take a look at this. Speaking of website, I would like to introduce you just a little bit quickly to the community website for my games, for my game development. Super Yuki Game Dev. This is where you can follow my game development. Also, I am allowing you guys to post your games here. Don't worry, I don't ban people for posting game. I want you to share your game. I want to play them. And by the way, in my game streaming channel, the Super Yuki on Twitch, I am hosting a indie game week in March. To be exact, March 30th to April 4th. I'm going to have an indie game streaming week. So if you guys are interested, wait until I make further announcements before I release you guys the forum. But you can also check out the upcoming events and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys check this out. I'll put the link below. And that is it for the link for the tutorial on the message core. I know it's a little hard, I know it's a little long, but it's one of my favorite plugins from Yanfly. Okay? That's it from me, guys. I am the Super Yuki once again, giving you guys the Learn RPG Maker MV Yanfly's plugins for you guys today. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you guys next time.